Today I'm going to be talking to you about raw cleansing. I have prepared some slides, so I'm going to go to those. And my goal today is to hopefully get through this a little bit faster than what I have before. Let's see. Oh, got to pull those up first. Okay, so this is my book about raw cleansing. I'm going to talk through a little bit about my background and what raw cleansing is, what it includes, give you some tips and hints. So my background is that I say that I was born with vegetarian tendencies, just didn't really care for meat and eggs and such. And in high school, I read the book Diet for a Small Planet, which impacted me in learning a little bit more about how we could feed other people if we all ate more plants in our life and less meat. I'm a registered nurse and I have a master's in educational technology. Cleansing for me began back in college in the 1970s. I did a master cleanse and I had some good and bad experiences mixed in with that. The good thing was I found out that I could do a cleanse. It was very extreme though, very low calorie. And so while I learned a lot from it, for me it was a little bit more extreme than what I like to presently do. It kind of caused me to ricochet after the cleanse is why I say that. It's like I got, I think, so hungry from such a low calorie intake that I ended up eating, like I ended up wanting to cook a loaf of bread and then eating a loaf of bread right after, which is totally awful. There is the Fat Flush information that I got introduced to in 2002, and that's Ann Louise Gittleman, and she's written several books all about supporting your liver to help detoxify your body. So I learned some great things from her. And then in 2011, I learned more about raw foods and did an 11-week challenge eating a high raw food diet. What I do now is 3 to 4 times a year, I go on a raw cleanse, eating 100% raw for that time and eating high raw normally in between. I will normally do a cleanse for 2 to 4 weeks. Why cleanse? Lots of reasons. I'll get into those momentarily. Here's just one example of how cleansing can impact the body. On the far left is me before the cleanse. The next one over, number 2, is me after 11 weeks of a high raw diet. This was not actually 100% raw at that time. I just ate did a lot of juicing, smoothies, salads, like 75% raw. And then here is the before picture number 3 from the side, and then you'll see the after. And that one, probably the before and after, shows you even better than the front view. That if I used the scale, I would have said this was not successful because I only lost 5 pounds. But you can see that I lost significant inches in the thighs, hips, and waist, and a little bit in the bust. Originally, I got into cleansing because I wanted to lose weight. So if I'd only used the scale, I would have said it wasn't successful. I've learned to actually take measurements and sometimes do pictures just to kind of get a sense of how much of the body is being impacted. People do cleanse for a variety of reasons. Definitely things that I've experienced include improved energy, having clear, glowing skin, feeling like my mind is more clear, I'm able to think more straight, having stronger intuition, feeling a little bit more connected and radiant in my body, having better creativity, feeling more like I'm in the flow of things, less inflammation, having weight loss, better hydration, slowed aging, and improved symptoms of disease. So what's in a cleanse? Well, you see all these things here. Anything that's a live plant, whether it came from the sea or the ground, is included. And so I won't read you that whole list. You can see it there. And what's excluded: caffeine, alcohol, cooked foods, processed foods, baked foods, and processed sugars. Instead, we're focusing on things like this: real, live, vibrant color vegetables you see in this picture. These are the ingredients that I put through my juicer to make what is called a V10 juice. It's like a V8 juice, but worlds better, extremely tasty and good for your body. I choose not to call this a juice fast or a juice feast or a detox. Instead, I call it a raw cleanse, because to me, it's not about fasting. It's about supercharging nutrition. I actually want you to stay at 1,500 calories to 2,000 calories. It's also not solely about juice. Part of what I do is kind of go through 3 different phases in the cleanses that I lead. So it's more than just about juice. And then I also don't use the word detox. That sometimes confuses other people. Anyways, they think you have a drug issue. But by keeping the calories high and really supercharging your nutrition, it's more like you're gently flushing the body and encouraging good health instead of going through a real dramatic detoxification process. Here's another sample of some of the foods that are included. This is in the second phase of things that I'll show you in just a second, but it's a chocolate smoothie, which is so yummy, so good, and very filling. For folks that are new to cleansing, I say start with 6 days. I say that because the first 3 can be kind of tough. But if you go for 6, you'll get into those benefit days and be able to experience those. And 6 is pretty good for your first time, just to see how your body responds. Another very, very important tip is to check your calendar, to put those days in the best place that you can so that you'll be home for the first day or 2, if at all possible. And then not have any big temptations, such as, like a big party where there's going to be cake or drinking or running a marathon. Try to put it on your calendar in a time where it can fit and support you. You want to enlist the support of other folks if they are supportive people. If people in your life are kind of naysayers, I say no need to let them even know what you're doing, because you probably have enough of those things you're going to need to push through on your own. You don't need other people kind of discouraging you. And a very important thing is you're going to want to always plan ahead so that you have food planned for your next meal or 2 or the whole day, depending upon the life that you live. If you're a repeat cleanser, you've done a cleanse before and you're going to be doing this again, you want to do all those things that the newbies do, but just pick your time frame. It might be that you're going to do it for a week and a half or 2 or 3. I also encourage folks to use the books and videos and YouTube information that they have to immerse themselves in raw food and health during this time. Maybe schedule some pampering. Consider having a reward for yourself. And it's always great to do this with like a friend or someone who's going to be supportive. For me, I started the Facebook groups just because it helped me stay honest. And then I started learning from them. And it's a great place for people who might not have that other person who wants to jump on board and do this with them. It's a place where we can say, hey, I'm having a tough day, or hey, I had this challenge. How did you handle that? Share recipes, good times, hard times, that kind of stuff. Pretty much we want to eat the energy that we want to become. 6 days is going to pass whether you do this or not. So why not take that 6 days and see how much you can impact your body and your health? It's your own experiment. I do put my raw cleanses in 2 phases. And so I have 3 phases. The first one is juice only. Then I add in salad, smoothies, whole fruits and vegetables. And then for the last third phase, it's all of that stuff plus raw seeds and nuts. So if you're doing 2 days, it's 2 in phase 1, 2 in phase 2, 2 in phase 3. So you always, pretty much within a day, day and a half, you've got something new that you can look forward to. And it's amazing when you clean your palate and your body, how good those foods can taste too. Here is a picture of a salad I took to a potluck. It's just an example of some of the foods that we'll be eating on the cleanse. Here's a raw foodist. Her name is Karen Calabrese. She's in Chicago and has opened several restaurants and written some books. I put her picture up there just as a sample of what someone can look like. She happens to be 67 years old, although most people would not guess that age, I don't believe. Here's Mimi Kirk. She lives in San Diego. She has a YouTube channel, is quite active. She just put out her 3rd cookbook, and she travels the world and also has a boyfriend who's quite a bit younger than her. And she happens to be 77, which is the age that my mom is, and has made some significant health improvements in her life based on raw foods. Questions and answers. I'm going to pop through to one of the biggest questions that probably anybody has is really, how much is this going to impact my life? Am I going to have withdrawal symptoms? Is my energy going to be real low? Here's what I say. Number one, if you're doing the 6-day cleanse, you can put that 6 days wherever it makes best sense for you. Another thing that you can do is wean yourself off of caffeine beforehand. And then even while you're cleansing, you can tweak things quite a bit. So the more you have juices and the more you have vegetables, that's very detoxifying. But if your energy gets low and you need more energy, number one, you just want to be sure that you're getting enough calories, probably close to 2,000 calories a day. But you can increase the fruits and the more complex foods a little bit sooner if you need to. Like occasionally, if somebody was having a hard time, we added in avocado a little bit early. So things can be adjusted. The ebook that's coming out has all of these things in it. It basically is created to give people the structure that they would need to have a successful raw cleanse. The book has been on sale for a week now, and I do sell the book by itself. I sell my Facebook private support group by itself. Then the purple package is those 2 things put together. The deluxe package is all of those things plus 2 30-minute consultations with me. And those can be before and during your cleanse. You can pick which times are going to work best for the consultation. I also have a blog, trying to get it to go there. Here it is. And through that blog, you can find information under the vegan tab. There's a fair amount about raw cleansing there. So I just want people to have the information. Some of it I'm selling just to encourage people to really be engaged and involved. And then some of it here is free for those that want that avenue. Here is another sample of some beautiful food that can be made. This is a beautiful borscht salad. It's a Lisa Pittman recipe. I took this for Easter a couple years ago, and everybody loved it. I didn't even have to say, oh, by the way, this is vegan and it's raw. It just is beautiful. It was tasty, and people really enjoyed it. On all those things I'm selling right now, they're 20% off through April 10th if you use the code CLEANSE at checkout. And as I mentioned before, the raw cleanse starts March 21st. If you're new to this, you can start on the 21st or any time to where your 6 days fits between March 21st and April 10th. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have other questions, feel free to post them below, and I will get back to you and answer them, because I want everybody to have the information that they need to have a successful, healthful raw cleanse. So thank you for taking the time to listen today, and happy cleansing to you. Thanks. Bye-bye.